Good enough. Okay, so hello everybody. Welcome to Tom's Guitar Show. I'm Tom. They call me Guitar Tom because I'm often seen with a guitar, and they call me on the phone and they ask me questions. They say, "Hey man, what's your show about anyway?" I say, "Well, it's about an hour about guitar players, guitar playing, all things guitaristic." So you can call the number on your screen, and if you want to ask me a question about how to play the guitar, the care and feeding of your guitar, what kind of guitar is right for you. If you want to talk about some related topic, the guitarrone, the guitarra, the sitar, chitole, lutes, vihuelas, banjos, balalaikas, bouzouki, bajos, sextos, tiples, cavaquinhos, tres, ukuleles and banjolins and mandolins and mandoras and mandolas and mandocellos, bandolims and bandoras. How's that? Bandora. We haven't talked about Bandora much, but that was an early attempt at the 12-string guitar. But, early 16th century stuff, I guess. We could talk about something else: pipe organs, piccolos, saxophones with sack butts, crumb horns, cornholts, cornetos, clarinets, clavinets, clavinovas, pipe organs and piccolos. Trombones, trombones. Somebody said that already. French horns, English horns. I don't know. Xylophones and zithers. If they had an aardvark instrument, I know they make that charango by scooping out an armadillo, but that's not the same. Thank goodness. They don't do that anymore. They're trying to not do that anymore.
Make it out of something synthetic armadillo now?
Well, they just carve it out of a big piece of wood, a block of wood. I've played some charangos made in like Bolivia, where they come from, but they were like carved like the shape of a pineapple out of a big block of wood, and they just hollowed it out like a big bowl. But they had, they used to scoop out the armadillos, which is kind of nasty. One of my brothers got a 3-string kind of banjo thing from the Middle East. My folks brought it back from the Middle East, and it was a tortoise shell with the skin stretched across it, so it was like a tortoise shell banjo.
Like a banjo?
A little one, a little 3-string thing, and. Anyway, politics, world events, your own personality problems. You can call us here. Well, we're here for you, but Keep It Clean's a family show.
So next week, last show of the year.
That's right.
Special from Uptown Bill's Coffee Shop.
There's going to be one after that. Isn't there going to be another show after that? When does it close? It closes
today's the 2nd. Yeah. Next week will be the 8th, so we probably have another one after that, won't we?
Well, yeah, that'll be the 9th. Yeah, it'll be 9th. So the next show is going to be the 9th at Uptown Bill's Coffee House.
I need to reset my watch.
So there's another one show after that. And I might have any kind of spillover after that. I just had a young fella who...
So we will be live on the 16th.
Yeah. Well, I had a young string bass player who was I just got the email before I left that he has a scheduling conflict and can't make that show. So maybe he can make the next show.
But the 9th is our on-location show this month.
Yeah. Well, we'll be at Uptown Bill's Coffee House on the 9th. I have to tune this guitar because this was sort of our winter celebration.
I notice we have a young man dressed for the season here tonight.
You can...
Let's get him over here and have him introduce himself.
Yeah, he's a...
Step on up to the mic.
Yeah. There you go. Look at him. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Camera operator there. We call him a cameraman, but I guess you are a cameraman, aren't you? Like one of Santa's elves?
It is a microphone.
A little helper,
Yeah,
is what I like to think.
Santa's helper? You know,
He needs all the help he can.
I suppose. Well, you're not a little helper. Maybe somebody gives a little bit, because you're a fairly tall fellow, but you could you give a little bit of help to Santa, or I don't know, man.
Give a little help, little compared to him.
Yeah. Well, I don't help Santa at all, but I play the occasional song about him. But we're just talking about that before the show. You know, Santa Claus is coming to town. It's kind of creepy. You know, he sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. That make you a little paranoid? Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Anyway, so you gonna be with us at all next semester?
who knows? I probably could be. Volunteer here and there.
Well, the semester's almost over. When does it end for you, man?
Ends in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yes.
Huh. Well, I could see my son again then.
Fly.
Anyway, yeah. Those college kids, you know, they're busy, but yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, all right. Well, it's been good to have you along. I mean, you'll be here next week, right?
I sure will.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself. Are you a media major? And they can't hear me, so you'll have to repeat that.
Yeah, he's asking if he's a media major. So you,
Well, I'm a cinema major, which is one aspect of media. One could call it the slower form of media now. But I do enjoy all forms, including calling guitar shows. So
yeah, Tom's Guitar Show. There's your experience. Yeah. Well, you know, if we ever make it to the big time, you can come along and work on that too. But I wouldn't hold my breath. But anyway, sorry.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, sure. I was just originally I was thinking I'd like to have a PBS show on Saturday afternoons about playing guitar. That was my plan when I started this 20 years ago. So far, I'm doing it the same thing I was doing 20 years ago, but and I get paid exactly the same amount as I did 20 years ago, and that's nothing. I get paid as much as you do. Yeah. Anyway, but well, I guess we'll see you for another week or two, and then maybe you'll come back next semester. But I tell you, a lot of people they don't come back. They get on with other things in their lives and stuff like that. You know,
Well, I'll be sure to make a point to come back.
you could be the one. You could be the one who
Pretty
breaks
good,
the You could be an outlier.
Ooh,
So
all I've
interns,
ever wanted to be.
yeah.
How much longer will you be in school?
Year and a half.
You'll have to make that a complete sentence. They can't hear me.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'll be in school for another year and a half.
Okay. Yeah. Then you got to try to get a job, huh?
Try, yes.
Yeah. If you can't, there's always graduate school.
There is.
Yeah.
Just never graduate.
That's right. You can do it. I've known people who've done it forever. It seems like. Oh yeah, yeah. People seem to they don't know what to do with their lives, so they go back to school. So it's a warm place.
It is. Get tenure as a cinema major.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you could teach cinema, I suppose. I don't know what you learn in cinema anymore. I don't know what you guys do anymore. What do you do these days?
Well, I guess I can't call it film.
Yeah.
Because you don't really much use film no more.
It's all digital stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we use these almost the same brand of digital cameras.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then you think you're just going to watch stuff, but then they also make you read stuff. So they get pulled the wool over your eyes there.
Yeah, yeah. Do they try to give you ideology and stuff, or or is it analysis, or what do they?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. Huh. I hear stories about different things, but I guess I don't know anything about it. You know, I teach music, and my thing is I just teach technical stuff, basically.
Got a minor in the music. Fun to do.
Well, I got a couple of music majors who aren't actually doing all that well, and I've got one communications major where I teach. I teach up in Cedar Rapids at Co. I'm a codependent. I need the paycheck, but you know the one who's doing the best is just she just does what I ask her to without any difficulty, and and she's a communications major. She's just doing it for fun and to fulfill her fine arts requirement, and I think the two composition majors I have up there are, I don't know. I guess you can't like slap them and stuff because you get your name in the paper.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Maybe that's the way to get your show on a commercial channel.
That's right. I could become a violent, like a violent classical guitar teacher. That's what I should be.
Whiplash, the TV show.
Yeah, well, we could introduce like a Three Stooges element to this. You ever watch Three Stooges?
Yes,
They're slapping each other
that would
around.
improve any show.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, I think so. I'll spin around. Molarity cheese. Woo, 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 and I would like spin around the floor.
Bring in a prop guitar, bust over interns.
Yeah. I would like to have breakaway guitars. You know, a whole bunch of them, and I could use them.
Made out of styrofoam or balsa wood.
Balsa wood probably something that would split really well. You know, and kind of like they have those plates and things. But you know, the plates are bottles that break over people's heads that are just made out of sugar. They don't hurt anything. But yeah. Anyway, well, I'll see you next week, and maybe we'll see you next. You're an intern now, right? Though, so you're not.
That's correct.
So you kind of have to be here, but
Yes,
I mean, like next semester you'd be like a volunteer. Some of you.
true.
Yeah.
I want to be here.
Oh. Well, we hope you are. But we'll take what we can get. Volunteers and interns. It's just that so many interns have been through this place. So anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, more power to you. I like your hat, man. We'll do something here.
Never pass up a chance to wear a funny hat.
Yeah. I have one like that, but mine is black fur on it, so it's like more like a jazz Santa
I
hat.
like that.
So maybe I should wear that at the show next week. Yeah, all right. Well, I'm gonna play something because that's what it's.
Two more work next 2 weeks.
Yeah, or just maybe I can wear it in 2 weeks. I have four options: wear it next week, wear it the week after, wear it both weeks, or not wear it at all. Yeah. And that's not even counting all the other hats I could wear.
Producer.
That's right. Well, or I could wear it and switch hats. I could wear like a bunch of hats. Like I could wear a different hat for every song. I was talking to somebody about that. I was just going to play something. But so Tommy Castro, who is he's a blues guitar player, a singer, interesting character. But somebody I think gave him like a 1966 Fender Stratocaster, a black one. This is not one of the Banner years, just Fenders. It was like one of the early CBS ones. But he had that, and he had this old, like 1964, 65 vintage Fender amp. And no effects pedals or anything like that, just the guitar and the amp. He turned the amp up pretty loud. Turned everything up to 9, you know. And then he'd, if he really wanted to rock out, he'd turn up to 10, but it only goes up to 10. But anyway, so he, so he would play all these gigs. I heard him being interviewed about this guitar and everything like that. He finally started playing Gibson Explorers, which is a completely different kind of electric guitar. But he spent, 10, 20 years or something playing this one guitar. And at the same time, like Jackson Browne did a concert, and he had like 34 guitars or something up there. He played a different guitar for every song. He had all these guitars and a tech up there to help him out. And but Tommy Castro just had the one guitar that he would play every time. And I thought, wow, that's interesting. That'd make life a lot simpler if you only had one. I mean, assuming you don't break it or something.
Like Willie Nelson.
Yeah, right. Segovia would play one guitar, for like 20 years, and he'd get another one, and he'd play that for 20 years. But, anyway, I play a lot of guitars. I'll confess that this one is, I guess I got this one before the last show.
You haven't told us about that one, have
Yeah, this is a Godin, Fifth Avenue, Kingpin 2. It has 2 pickups. Now, I've had the Kingpin, which does not have the cutaway, right? And it has only one pickup at the neck. I've had that on the show many times. I've had a very interesting time with that guitar. I've had it since probably the early spring of this year, 2014. And had some issues with it. I dropped it. It actually was in a zippered gig bag, and I somehow didn't have it zipped up. And I was at Co. And I was walking around school, with this thing. And then when I slung it off my shoulder to put it in the car, it fell out and went wham on First Avenue in Cedar Rapids. And got all gouged up or bashed up, and it was like down here. Well, you can't see it, so I had the guy kind of like paste it together for me. It's not pretty, but it was only like, it was a lot cheaper to have him do that than try to make it look like it never happened. So the other thing was that the strap buttons, so these are up here. See, up here. If I put the strap here, the guitar hangs down low. And I want to play up like this. I guess you guys can change positions again. And so I drilled the hole in here. But what I used for the drill is a battery-powered, it's like electric screwdriver that has a couple drill bits, a little thing, and it runs on AA batteries. And this is a chunk of hard maple. So I took, so actually it was hard to drill, and when I did drill it, it was at this angle too low down. And it wouldn't matter in this one, it didn't have any cutaway, so it's really hard to put the strap on. So basically I've kind of like messed up this guitar, and I was going to trade it for this one, but the guy said he couldn't give me very much money for it because it was all scuffed up from falling out of the case and I drilled all of it. So I guess I'm keeping that one too. But this one has 2 pickups. And I've had the other guitar on the show a bunch of times. These are P90s. Well, the other one only has 1, and I don't know if you can hear this, but it's humming. Now the amp that I have, I'm in this switch, so I have just this one pickup. So this is what the other one sounds like. It's a very pretty sound, but it hums like crazy unless I use a hum debugger. Even that doesn't take it away. So if I put it in the middle position switch like this, I get the 2 pickups together, and it cancels most of that hum. Now here, I mean, a lot of places I don't hear anything at all, but here I'm under all these lights, I'm on TV lights, and there are computers everywhere. So anyway, that's why I got this one. This is one I wanted all along anyway. And the story begins a year or so ago, and I had a student who wanted to play jazz, and like older jazz music, and I tried to coerce him into buying one of these, but I wanted to check it out, so they got one in the Musician's Pro Shop, where I got this little guitar shop. They got the one that I ended up buying, and I was just going to check it out, but I ended up buying it because I couldn't help myself. And anyway, to make my short story even longer, I got that one, but I was thinking of this one, you see. So now I have them both. With a little luck, I won't buy any more. Although they have one called the Montreal, because they're from Quebec. You see, these guitars are built in Quebec. And the Montreal is this big blonde guitar where you have either a double coil, which would cancel the hum, or 2 double coils. And it's all maple and cherry wood. And anyway, I think I can probably avoid that. But
Don't want the guitar shop folks to forget you.
no, they won't. They won't forget me. I think they should, they should put a little statue, of me out there, me reaching for my wallet. But they got a way you can pay things off slowly, so I'm usually beholden to them. But anyway, so if I've only had this guitar for maybe I had it in the last week. I think I may have had it on that show upstairs last week. I think I might have gotten it just like that day or the day before. So anyway, have it paid off soon enough, and then who knows what will happen. Maybe I could save money or help raise the standard of living of my wife and child.
More likely you'll need a fix.
Yeah, I probably need a fix. Okay. Anyway.
The guy with the guitar is Tom.
I haven't tried to play that for a long time. Stuff like that will make your guitar go out of tune in a hurry. Yeah, well, the season's upon us, I guess. Black Friday's behind us. And, Cyber Monday's behind us. What next? This Christmas. And then, of course, there's Super Bowl Sunday to look forward to. But it's almost... Of course, it's all big pagan thing anyway. I mean, they,
Got little lady green sleeves?
yeah, green sleeves. But I mean, the whole Christmas thing is kind of interesting because, you know, it was kind of created later in history, and because there's always been a party after the winter solstice, and I don't know, it's kind of
Pretty much every religion had some kind of a winter solstice observation.
yeah, and they have
Anyway, when the Roman missionaries got to Europe, they couldn't get the Europeans to quit doing it, so they
they made it into Christmas.
just co-opted it.
They co-opted it, but they co-opted a lot of things. You know, Easter was Oster or something. It was a big, you know, fertility.
Spring equinox celebration.
Yeah. So you got the bunnies and the eggs and everything. Like, who are we kidding? You know, spring equinox. Yeah, but and they have the kind of Halloween thing, of course, and the end of the whatever. And then, of course, the French have the Halloween, but they have Toussaint, All Saints Day, the next day. So that's when all the saints come.
Most Catholic countries have that.
Yeah.
All Saints Day, All Souls Day, Day of the Dead.
Yeah, Day of the Dead in Mexico. It's all very interesting, but it's all about the weather. You know, I mean, you want to right about after the days start, they've gotten the very shortest, and they just start getting longer again. It's time to have a party.
I guess Halloween is the eve of All Hallows.
Yeah. Hallows. What's a Hallow? Oh, yeah, the Eve of All Hallows. Yeah.
The eve of All Souls Day.
Yeah. That's right. All Hallows Day. Yeah. Halloween Eve. All Hallows Eve. All Hallows Eve. Yeah. I've heard it called that. Yeah. So we have the all the lights and stuff, and the Christmas trees, and you bring inside, and all this, you know, the Yule log, and you know, and let's not forget the eggnog. You know, all these things are, you know, traditions, and go way back before the Christianity was introduced to Europe. So, you know, it's a good time for a party, I guess. I'm just never quite sure, because I know there are all kinds of things about it. You know, like, you know, if my show next week is sort of like the Christmas show, sort of, but you know. I know, I mean, there's at least going to be like a Hindu, you know, playing, and maybe a Jew or two, you know, going to play at the show. And, you know, they don't necessarily have to celebrate Christmas.
Well, we'll find out what they observe this time of year.
Well, I kind of know what they do, but, I mean, they have Diwali or Diwali, and that's already happened. That's when they light a lot of little candles and stuff and do their thing, and it's usually like November. And I've been to some of those, the Hindus, you know, I've been to some of their celebrations. Because of the music, I get sucked into lots of different kinds of celebrations, you know, providing music and stuff, and so I was at one of those, and you know, and I feasted, and they had singing and dancing, and people dressed up like they're from India and having a good time, and there was me, just being me, you know,
Being a guitar picker.
yeah, just being but it's okay, and you know, it's the same sort of thing, though. I mean, you have a feast, and you have they read stories from the Bhagavad Gita, and you know.
So professional musicians kind of celebrate all holidays.
Well, I get around, you know. I also know that there's some places, of course, I
Beach
don't
Boys
go.
do that.
The what?
The Beach Boys do that.
Oh, Cinderella.
I get around, round, round.
Oh, round, I get around, yeah. Well, I mean, I've done a lot of weddings and stuff, so I've been in different things, and I'll sit down with the bride and groom, maybe the family, and decide on music and stuff. So I've done Jewish weddings. I did a Baha'i wedding, and I didn't know that much about the Baha'i faith, and I was there.
They pretty much adopt all of them.
Yeah, well, they're pretty open-minded, I guess. I still don't know that.
They just include all the other religions in theirs.
Yeah. So they have a good time. But I didn't know much about them until I guess I'd just barely heard of it, and then but I was there, I was front and center in a Baha'i wedding ceremony, some years ago, and then I hung around with them beforehand, we make our plans, and I hung around at the reception afterwards. So it's all good. But it's sort of like I know there are other Christian denominations that don't celebrate Christmas because they're very.
Oh, my wife grew up a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah, they don't do that. Jehovah's Witnesses don't.
Yeah.
I guess. What's their reason? Is because it's.
Jesus said, "Don't keep the days."
I see. I get you. Okay. Well. So. It's nice to have lots of little pretty colored lights, and and the tree thing can be pretty. Although, see, the Tuscan moon, the tree is kind of a drag for me. It's a really big Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And I kind of like the ceiling fan, but they have to turn it off so they don't give the tree a flat top. And I also have much less space to deal with. My elbow is stuck in the Christmas tree. And one guitar that I don't have, and I've thought about it, is made by the same people who make this, the Canadians. It's a very small parlor-sized classical guitar, like a 19th century style, very small. It has a pickup in it. It's called a motif. La Patrie motif, and it's just a very small bodied classical guitar. It's not like a three-quarter size or a child size. It's just what guitars looked like before they started getting bigger. Through the 19th and 20th centuries, guitars kept getting bigger. Yeah. So it would be better for me to have something small, because that way it wouldn't stick into the tree. And it's not a real tree; it's a synthetic tree. And so I've been there for 5 years now, I think. So it's like a normal thing for them. After Thanksgiving, there's the tree. So last weekend, Friday, Saturday night, I was there with the tree and trying to fit somehow. It wasn't easy. So anyway, which reminds me I should mention that's where I'll be this weekend.
Where will you be this weekend?
That's right. That's what I thought you'd never ask. I will be at Tuscan Moon on Friday and Saturday.
That's a restaurant in Kelowna, isn't it?
Kelowna, Iowa, about 20 miles south of Iowa City, something like that, maybe a little less. Right downtown, the Tuscan Moon, and it's a snazzy little place. People love it there. The people will go there because it's the old hotel built over 100 years ago.
Do they need a reservation this time of year?
They might, yeah. It's been kind of slow the last couple of weeks, but it's always that Thanksgiving era that's really slow. But then it starts getting busy again, and then it's not that big a place, and you have to take reservations. If you want to hear me, because they have seating upstairs, so they might not have room for you, where I'm playing.
Yeah.
So you might have to go upstairs, which is very nice upstairs, but if you want the music.
But no guitar player up there.
No guitar player, yeah. Maybe you'd prefer to be up there. I don't know. But anyway.
Well, if you get your reservation in advance, you can tell them that.
That's right. No guitar players. Yeah, maybe you get me fired. Anyway, I think about that, getting fired.
So I want second floor. Tom sent me.
Yeah. Tom said he's going to play his guitar, so could I be on the second floor? He's not playing on the second floor. Bingo. Anyway.
On the other hand, if you like guitar music.
That's right. Well, I'll behave myself, and I'll play all night on the string, and I won't, tell any jokes or anything like that. I'm just going to play guitar. But anyway, I'll be there Friday, Saturday night. It's supposed to start at 6. I start about 6:30 or a little bit later now. I was supposed to start at 6, and I ended up starting at 6:15, and it was 6:20, and it was 6:30 for the longest time. And now I'm lucky to start at 6:30. But by 6:40, I'll be playing for sure.
But you play late.
Yeah, I play late. Sometimes still after 10. And so it's always good to eat a little bit later anyway.
Yeah.
People who want to eat at 5 o'clock and get right out of there, they miss the experience. Some people hang around for hours.
So if people want to stay around, enjoy their music, enjoy their meal, and listen to the music.
That's right. Well, it's fancy food, and they specialize in fancy wine, and fancy desserts and things like that. And pretty good coffee from what I remember. I've only had it once or twice there, but you can get those little press pots on your table.
If people want to drink coffee at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah. I could have danced all night and still have. Anyway, yeah. Well, I've been known to drink coffee at 9 o'clock at night just because I have to play till midnight and I'm trying to stay awake. But
I could do it when I was young, but
yeah.
now that I've joined the Geritol generation.
Yeah. Sure. We could use a cup of coffee right now. Yeah, but anyway, I'll be there. I'll be at Journey Church again on Sunday. Start about 10:30. Coralville there off Oakdale Boulevard. And I should, as a sad note, that I was there on Sunday twice for the regular service, but then they had a memorial service for Mary Bullion, and I think probably a lot of people knew her. She got her car stuck on the railroad tracks by Dyersville or near Dubuque up there somewhere, and got struck by a train. And then she died a few days later at the University Hospital. She died on Friday. So I guess she got stuck late Tuesday night or Wednesday or something. And so we had a memorial service for her on Sunday. And she was, I think she was a social worker, worked with children at the hospital quite a bit, and a very sweet woman. But anyway, she got stuck on some railroad tracks, and that was it. So I don't know what happened, but anyway. But as I say, she's no longer with us. So I was there on Sunday. I was there today, too, because they had a bunch of preachers. Church of Christ is their denomination. So they had a conclave or something, and they had lunch there. And I played guitar for that. So I was there twice on Sunday and today, on Tuesday. And as I say, I'm not particularly religious myself, but I play guitar.
But your guitar is.
Yeah. Well,
Your guitar likes all the religions.
that's right. Well, who knows? Not all of them, but some of these worship bands are. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could stand it.
like those Christian metalheads.
Yeah, those, for instance. Yeah, and then some of the other ones where they're. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I could do it.
Or any other kind of metalhead.
I suppose. Yeah. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from the heavy metal music. Yeah. So, how do you get a heavy metal guitar player to turn down his amp? You put a sheet of music in front of him. Yeah. So, anyway.
Now let's not scare our youth movement away.
I don't. You're not a metalhead, are you? Or are you? No, he's not a metalhead. Okay. He might be a young fella, but he might be into classical music. Yeah. He might be into classic jazz for all we know. He might, Yeah. It's good stuff. Jazz from like the 30s. Some of that stuff is great. Fats Waller stuff. Big Spiderbeck.
Because House in New Orleans is about as close as we get to metal around this show.
With the House of the Rising Sun or Amazing Grace.
Which is what I should have said.
Yeah, well, either one. But you can put any limerick you want into them, And
the rhythm of a limerick.
Yeah, it's just it's a 5-line form. So you can here's one about a cat. It's clean. He's Toby Gray, and that's okay. His tail is ringed in black, and he sounds like the rotor of a lawnmower motor whenever I massage his back. Or she's black and slick like a licorice stick. 2 toes are snowy white. We call her Attila, though it could be Godzilla, 'cause she's always ready to fight. Yeah, that's about the cat we live with now.
And this being a family show, you probably won't do the verse about the old hermit named Dave.
No. Or anything that rhymes with Nantucket or anything like that. But there are
other limericks.
Yeah, those are limericks. But there's a limerick about how I should memorize it. I found it somewhere, and once I've read it before, but it's something like about limericks and say if they're clean, they're not funny. I think it's the da 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 da. If they're clean, they're not funny, or something like that. That's the punchline. So limericks are usually just
At
terrible.
least risque.
Yeah, they're usually terrible. But then I saw a website where they were using scientific facts, chemistry and mathematics things, physics, whatever, biology, whatever, turning into limericks, like things that,
Well, 1 month for the special, I looked up a fair amount of musician limericks.
yeah, huh. Yeah. There's only one I remember vaguely. There's one about a harp player, how she has da 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 da, plenty of pluck, da da da, and a truck. 'Cause
Oh, there was the one Phil used to recite about the tutor that taught two tutors to toot,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Huh.
which I don't remember either.
Well, we should collect some clean limericks, and then we'll set them to music on the show. But
Yeah, recite them to the House of the Rising Sun.
yeah, I actually have a country song like a. She's ginger and white, and that's all right. We love her stripy tail, but the soul of a tiger lurks deep down inside her, though she's built on a much smaller scale. Oh, she's built on a much smaller scale. I can't hear the C today. That was another cat I used to live with. I read limericks about cats and recite them to little kids back in the day. But now I don't, so much. So those are 3 cats. Those are my original lyrics there, so I don't have to worry about copyright on those. She's ginger and white, and that's all right.
That may be the danger point. I keep telling my wife she's a crazy cat lady, but she says, no, I only have 2. It's the third one that makes you a crazy cat lady. But
Yeah, I think it's 16th or something. My sister is up to 5 with 2 dogs, but that's because her daughters kept bringing home cats. But now they're down to 1 surviving cat.
we have 2 because my son had a girlfriend that used to rescue cats.
Yeah, that would, yeah. Well, my niece had a couple cats that she had rescued, and then I think she had to move or something. She actually lives in Alaska now. She has a kid. She's married, has a kid, and lives in Alaska. But somehow she had to, or she had these cats. She couldn't take them or something. She rescued these cats. I think that was what it was. Gave them to my father. And one was just a very docile, sweet cat, and the other one had this terrible tendency to mark the furniture. And then my brother, who lives in Europe, was back to visit, and the cat came up and turned around and marked him. And after that, and then also the bed and stuff, and then he would scratch things up. So they had to go. So they ended up, well, they moved to a farm somewhere where they could live outdoors or with a barn and everything. But I think that I'm a little suspicious though, because that's what you tell a kid, when they're hamster.
When the dog dies,
Yeah.
went to live on a farm.
Yeah, went to live on a farm. Yeah, that's a euphemism for something. So anyway,
We had a dog one time that was going to be a house dog until my wife got some new drapes and the dog marked him.
I see.
She said, that's an outdoor dog.
Yeah. That's where the dog made a big mistake, but we have an indoor cat. So we got the one cat. The one was taupey gray, and it's okay. We love his stripy tail, or his tail is ringed in black. That one, Torben, and we got him because my son was a little kid. And he wanted to get a bird. He really wanted to have a bird, and he's looking at sparrows. He thought maybe we could domesticate a sparrow. I said, no, you got to get a parakeet or something. So I didn't want to get a bird. We went to the pet store and looked at the birds, the parrots and the things, and then there was this cat who was like the kindest, gentlest soul of any kind of life form you'd ever imagine, And he was in a little cage, grooming a kitten. He was like, fostering a kitten in a little tiny cage in this pet store. And what that was an animal rescue thing. They were actually, they had a deal with some animal rescue people. I remember we got, he was the animal we wanted, and the manager was so kind of unhappy, I think, that people were getting these rescued animals instead of buying something, and they eventually went out of business. It was a pet store that, but she seemed quite miffed. But the young woman with a whole bunch of like metal sticking out of her face and tattoos and whatever, who hooked us up with Torben. That was the name he came with, was Torben. Anyway, so we had this cat, and we adopted him, and treated him quite well. He was very happy to have a house of his own, and he really was, But then he seemed to, like, he'd go down in the basement and start howling, like that. I thought he was lonely because he had grown up in, he'd been, in the animal shelter and then fostered at somebody's house where they had, 15 cats and 12 dogs or something in the little house all together. And then he'd been in this little cage in a pet store, so he came over to our house, and it's a modest house, but it's an upstairs and downstairs and a basement, and lots of warm places and plenty of food and everything like that, and a constant stream of guitar students and people coming over to be friends with him. So we had him in the house. So, but he seemed to be lonesome, because he didn't have all this these other animals. So we ended up. One of my students had this population explosion of kittens out in his horse farm. So he came in with a big box of kittens, I don't know, 20 of them maybe. And Torben got in the box of kittens and looked around, and all the kittens started spilling out and wandering all over the house. So the one started following him, really feisty little black and slick like a licorice stick, with 2 white toes. 2 toes were snowy white. Anyway, she followed him, and she decided that this was the one, the love of her life, even though she was a little tiny kitten at the time, but... So it was her choice, and since then Torben had some health problems, and he had a stroke. We had to have him put to sleep a while back, and he's been deceased for over 2 years. And Attila, we call her Attila, although it could be Godzilla, because she was the kind of cat who you'd be washing the dishes, and then she'd just run up your back. What she could do because she had razor sharp little claws, you see, and very painful.
I'm familiar with cats running across you and digging in for traction.
Yeah. Well, it's actually a daily occurrence for me because she has to sit in my lap for several hours every day, which is anyway. But so anyway, Torben is no longer with us, but Attila remains. She's like 8 years old now, but we got her as a little baby. But the kid who wanted the bird has grown up. He's in college and has his own place. Torben, who needed a friend, is deceased, but his little friend Attila is running things at our house. It has been now for a while, and she's about 8 years old. I'm sure she's got another 10 years on her easy. So, anyway, somehow cats know how to boss you around. Dogs do too, of course. I had a dog for many years, but I had a dog and a cat for many years. But they know how to.
Dogs will let you boss them.
To a point.
Cats won't.
No. Well, you're the one who's fond of saying that dogs have masters and cats have staff.
Yep.
So, meow, it means waiter. Waiter. Meow, meow, anyway. So.
Better do something guitaristic.
I better, yeah. Well, I'm going to do something. That's about it. Okay, next week, Uptown Bill's Coffee House. Tuesday at 6. The Winter Spectacular. See who shows up. All kinds of music. I might bring candy canes. Probably won't. I might. And bring mistletoe, but I don't think so.
Very few women come up to this show, so.
Yeah. There are probably a very limited number of people I want to kiss on the mistletoe. Bye, folks.